Hey guys, kind of a cool night tonight. It's real calm. I've been working on some things, working on the other channel. Just been a busy day, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to share a personal encounter with you guys again. I know y'all like personal encounters, so we're going to do a personal encounter. Uh, we had a night where we was all down at my granny's. My uncles, all my aunts, and they would all show up pretty regularly and they would visit, and we was outside playing ping pong, and we'd be playing basketball, and horseshoes. A lot of things would go on down there. Well, nighttime had came, and of course everybody had went into the house, and the card games were going in the kitchen. Girls in the bedrooms visiting, the kids playing, all of me and my cousins. And they decided we was going to go down to the old mulberry tree, which was out in the pasture, and have a campfire. And the uncles were all going to go, and we was going to eat, marshmallows. And of course, all of us kids were just excited. We went down, got to the mulberry tree, and got the fire going, and everything was going great. We was all having a good time. Was eating marshmallows. My uncles, were sharpening sticks, and just great. Anytime a kid can play in the fire, it was fun. And all of a sudden, one of the ants noticed something out in the field, and it was kind of crawling around. It was kind of large. I would compare the body structure to this, kind of like maybe like a bear. It was real bulky. We don't have bear around here, and it was growling, and the way it was moving around, and with everything that had happened, well, we were getting scared. So my uncles are sitting there, and one of my uncles finds a stick, kind of like a log. It's got a Y on it, and he grabs it and he throws it at whatever this is, and it hits it, and it takes off, and it's really fast to be as big as it was. I mean, it just like plowed through the tall grass. So they decided then was a good time to go to the house. We got up to Granny's house. All my aunts and uncles were in the house, and we were all talking and everything. And then all of a sudden, here comes the banging, the scratching on the side of the house, the heavy breathing. The back door was mostly where it would always try to come in at. And the back door was old. And whenever it would push on the back door, you could hear it creak and crack. And we prayed so many times, us kids, that door would hold. And my uncle, I'm not going to say his name, he's passed on, and I don't have the permission to use his name, and one out of respect. But he had a what we called a jackass holster. And he carried an old 44 Magnum in it, had the long barrel on it. We call it Dirty Harry. And he would always tell us, "You don't want to come in here and mess with this." And that gave us, a lot of peace. And then my granny, she had her 32 and the butcher knife, and I'll tell you more about the 32 at the end. But anyways, it was scratching on the house, beating on the house, and this was the first and only time this had ever happened. It turned off the electric box. Scared us kids to death. We're out in the middle of the country, middle of nowhere. This thing's outside. The electric box goes off. And my grandpa, he knew the sound because it had the old arm on it, and it was connected to the front room wall where we was all sitting. And you hear the old, squeak of it coming down, and the box jarring, and then the electric going off. My uncles decided at that time it was enough. So one of my uncles was in Vietnam. The other uncle, he had served in Vietnam, also decided they're going to go outside, turn on the electric. So one uncle has a 30-06. The other uncle is carrying the 44 Magnum. And the other ones, I'm not going to use their names, stayed in the house with us, and they had various guns, 12 gauges, stuff like that. Just protecting the kids. So they went outside, and they turned the electric right back on, and then they shot some rounds toward the back of the house where they had heard it. They ran toward the chicken house, as always, and they came inside, and of course we barricaded down, and we started playing cards in the floor. The air conditioner was turned off, the TV was off, that way we were able to hear. And they would just keep us busy mostly. Well, the rest of the night was pretty calm, and we were glad for that. But we thought it was cool. All of us, we got to make pallets in the floor. Aunts and uncles stayed all night. That didn't happen a lot. So we all got to barricade down together, and we enjoyed that a lot. It was just, a big family setting of a huge pallet in the floor, and everybody sleeping in couches, chairs, and all of us kids on the floor, and the guns are in the corners, and the uncles are sleeping. Just good times. And the next morning, whenever they went outside, whatever it was, had went out, turned all the feed upside down in the chicken house, tore half of Grandpa's chicken house door off. Behind the chicken house was a run where they would load the hogs into the truck. It had busted the run all up. It was angry. It had tore a lot of stuff up that night, and it was probably because we angered it. And we asked Grandpa, was like, Grandpa, do you think it's bad to anger it? And he always said, you know what? It's got all them woods and swamp down there to run around. This is my place, and we're going to be safe here. And eventually, the old 32 pistol that laid on Grandpa's headboard, it's an antique, worth a lot, but worth more to me in memories, was given to me by my granny to keep. That pistol had brought us so much peace and safety. The feeling of looking at it, we just knew that we were safe whenever Granny or Grandpa had that pistol. I'm the proud owner of it now, and I'll show you all someday what it looks like, what gave us peace. And the butcher knife, which is gone now in the house fire. The house is no longer there. It had burnt. But the memories are still burned in my head, and they'll always be there. A lot of my aunts and uncles, some are gone now. Some are older now. But we remember them days, and they were good days. They were scary days, but they were good days. And, there was one time George, I remember, he was down there, and he was about 10 or 12. And he had went out of the front door onto the main porch, which had plexiglass around it, down the steps, and then down the sidewalk under the shade trees to their car, which was under the yard light. Got something out of the car, probably a comic book or something, or ball cards. We was really into that stuff, and Garbage Pail Kid cards. And he's coming up the sidewalk, and whatever it is has come up out of the hog pasture to the fence where it's just thick with honeysuckles and was on the other side. This again is where it spoke, and it said, George. And it freaked George out. He ran, jumped up on the porch, ran in the house, white as a sheet, fell on the floor, sweating. But the weird thing was, it was summer. They had the picture glass window opened. Everybody in the house at first looked at George like, what are you doing? They heard this thing out there in the honeysuckles laughing. So whatever this thing was, it felt that it was comical that it had scared George. Now, all this is not a story. This is something that I personally encountered, something that I personally seen happen and personally heard. And I know you all like my encounters, and I wanted to share this one with you. It's a very nice night out tonight. We got the moon setting behind the trees. I don't know if Hunter can show it to you a little bit. He's running the camera tonight. Can you show him the moon, bud?
Yeah.
We're out in the middle of nowhere, guys. And just wanted to sit out in the yard. It's a crisp night. It's probably in the 40s tonight. It's kind of cool outside. But I wanted to share another personal encounter with you guys, and I wanted to do it outside to see what you guys kind of thought about it. But that was just some of the stories that'll be in the book. There'll be, of course, more to them, what the front room looked like, more details. But yeah, I wanted to share it with you. That was some scary times, but also some good times, and times I wouldn't change for anything. I appreciate you all watching and supporting me, and all of you all that's joined the membership on there. The membership has really grown, and man, it really touches my heart that y'all have done this. I've truly been blessed by God with this channel, and with you guys, with having the members that I do have. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for when you watch these videos, hitting the like button, the comment, making sure you're subscribed. All that helps so much. Just hitting that like button and a small comment, it puts us out there so much. And you guys have been doing that. And man, it touches me every time y'all do that, because I reach out for help and y'all respond in the thousands. And it really means a lot to us. Our other channels really picked up. We're getting ready to do a cookout tomorrow on it. I'll post it on the main channel. If you'd like to join it, feel free to join it. We'd love to have you over there to spend more time with us, if you can stand more time with us. But we appreciate each and every one of you. Keep your head on a swivel, guys. Until next time, don't be something's dinner. We'll see you on the next one. God bless.